Welcome, everybody. Wizards and Warriors episode 8 is here. Thank you all for being patient as we try to get a better cadence with these episodes. As we said in the last one, we're trying to do at least one a month and hopefully give you guys some long form entertainment. Yes, that was on purpose for all things competitive pinball. I am Hadi FriscoPinball, my co-host Joe Landis, Jay Land here.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How are you been? How are you? How have you been?
Yeah, everything's been good, Hadi. I've been playing in a lot of local events, still kind of running tournaments out here. Shout out to Jermaine. I've been kind of copying some of his formats and running 1 day 200% events, and they've been pretty well received, getting a lot of whoppers in a short amount of time. So
Nice.
been
So,
nice.
what is the challenge in doing those versus what you
Oh
had been
man,
doing?
it's cool because like you can squeeze everything in a day. He's been running these for a couple years now, so it's like it's a tried and true formula. Just kind of replicating that. But it's finding the right mix of games, the right venue that can kind of host those. Shout out Jackpot out in Purcellville, Virginia. I've been working with the main guy over there, Eric. We've been able to run one so far, and we're running the next one in a couple weeks, right before Pinburgh.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Those max percentage ones are always fun to watch, but I can't imagine running it. So kudos to you. That's not easy. So if you are a player, always treat your TDs while they're working their ASS off for you. This is not PG, so we can say it, but super cool, man. I always love to see how people put their spin, if they can, as much as they can, on these tried and true formats, and it's how we got hybrid. But last time we chatted, we talked about Starfighters, had a great interview with Ray Day. Before that, had a great interview with ZMAC. And this episode is no different. We are going to talk with one of the winners from Canada's biggest tournament, YEGPIN 2025. We are going to be interviewing the awesome Leslie Ruckman, aka El Rucko, your 2025 YEGPIN Women's Matchplay Championship. We're going to talk to her about how she started her career in pinball, some of her favorite, least desirable pins to play in a tournament, how she developed her prowess, and all that sort of good stuff. We'll recap with her, analyze her championship victory by reviewing each round and getting her thoughts on competing up north with a very tough field on a very infamous setup. We're talking red rubbers, precision flippers, and lightning flippers. So precision lightning with red rubbers, forget it. It was a battle. I competed up there. I did okay in classics. I got enough points to make my card, which was nice. I at one point was in the playoffs, but as the time wore down, I slowly got bumped down and down, further and further. But thank you, Derek Thompson, um, uh, Scott, Jeff Teolis, and I don't want to forget anybody, but if I do, I apologize. Everybody up north for putting on an amazing, amazing tournament. I will definitely be back. I won't be flying 3 legs on a trip there. I won't be taking Flair Airlines. I will plan better, but it was a great, great tournament, and I hope you all had a pleasure of watching it. Also, kudos to Tom Graff. He allowed me the opportunity to help run the stream and help him out while his son competed. So I got to do a lot of commentary. Hopefully, you all enjoyed that as well as help him kind of operate the stream. As us Twitch guys know, it's not easy. So I was happy to assist. Did you get to watch any of YEGPIN?
Yeah, I tried to tune in as much as I could. Yeah, nice job on stream, Hadi.
Thanks.
Running commentary for a big tournament like that isn't easy, so always
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah, it was fun to commentate. I got to do it. Miles Grant, Bob, Tom, all these other amazing players, and shout out to Jim Belcito for winning the main. Derek Thompson winning classics, which is not easy to do because he was running the whole thing. So to take the time and be able to TD make tough decisions like the one where I was ranked 252 on the day they ran the computer for Never Drains, and it kicked me to B. I was like, "No, no, no. As of May 3rd, I was 248." And so he had that Carl, thank you, Carl, manually change it so I would be pulled into A. I still didn't wrap myself up, but I wanted the opportunity to compete. So yes, I could have been near the top of B, but I didn't want that. I think a lot of players that have been in the top 250, yourself included, probably would have wanted the same thing. I know we talked with El Rucko about that in our interview. So, would you want to be at the top of B or play in A?
Oh, I always want to compete
Yeah,
against, the hardest competition. So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
that was the right move for
Ex
sure.
It didn't work out, but you know what? I got a lot of experience, with those
Yeah.
YEGPIN setups, man. That was not easy. So, before we get into the rest of our episode, we're gonna talk quickly about some pinball news. You don't have to hear it from us because you hear it from everybody else, but it's nice to get our opinion here and there. So, tons of new releases. It's been a while since we talked. So, Harry Potter, obviously the big release, probably the biggest license in pinball left, other than perhaps Mario, Pokemon. Maybe I think Back to the Future's smaller than Harry Potter, but there's not a lot of licenses left that can top J.K. Rowling's literary work as well as film franchises. Released by JJP, it looks beautiful. I haven't played it yet. I know the arcades and Wizard editions are going out now. They're on the line. That CE looks stunning. I love the staircase mech and the progression through each semester to get to the final wizard mode or the mini wizards that I saw Joel from Flipping Out Pinball play on his stream. It really does look great with all the assets. I do hope they balance that movie audio though with the call outs because it seemed like the call outs were a little low on the volume. What are your thoughts on Harry Potter? Have you had a chance to play it?
Yeah, one of, locations near me actually just got the collector's edition, was able to put it on location, so shout out of Time Amusements, Ocelot Brewery out in Sterling, actually just yesterday, really, so, I was able to get, I think, 1 or 2 games on, and, so far it feels pretty good, the flippers feel nice and snappy, I know JJP's been making, strides in their flipper tech, so it's
Yeah.
nice. The staircase mech is very cool. It's rotates and kind of sends the ball in all different places, and um, yeah, it's a cool game. So hopefully, you'll get one on location near you soon.
Yeah, definitely. I know they ordered 3 CEs for the Cidercade. I don't know why they're putting CEs on location, but whatever, I'll go play it. So,
Yeah,
excited to see that topper. I know they're gonna have to do some work on it, but man, they really Eric and the rest of the team, AI art controversy notwithstanding, I'm not gonna give you my opinion on it. But I think it just looks like they put as much as they could with the license. I was wondering if they would split it up into 2 different pins, maybe films 1 through 3 and 4 through 7 or whatever it is, split, but for all the assets that they have, they had to include so many moments. I am not a Harry Potter enthusiast, and after looking at the featurette and reveal trailer, man, I was like, "Dude, this looks like a blast." So congrats to JJP for a surefire sales winner, as far as I can tell. Um, there's a lot of people that put in orders for CEs, and Pinball needed that. I know King Kong sold well, but you can still find LEs, and I feel like that was the litmus test a long time ago. Granted, we are post COVID, new economy, new world situation, so maybe LEs are just not destined to sell out anymore. But I know JJP with Harry Potter tons sold. Congrats. More pinball is better, in my opinion. And so we'll see what happens with that. And now there's more pinball after that because we got the reveal of Predator from the Pinball Brothers. And I watched the reveal trailer, the unofficial trailer, unofficial gameplay. I love the idea of a wide body. I think what they did with Ailing was excellent, minus the hiccups that it took to get them there. And tech issues, engineering issues. But man, that old painless minigun on the left, I think that's one of the coolest shots, just because of the muzzle flash and the fire. I think it's, if I can speak in 50s language, I think it was ace. I love the theme integration, but having the actors and the assets is key. I've seen the updated call outs with Arnold Arnold Light. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on Predator?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to judge. I don't think that we're gonna get one on location around me, so
Yeah,
I you know, kind of want to reserve any judgment. But I mean, it's a cool theme, so
yeah.
hope it does well.
Is that what's your favorite Arnold movie? Would you say T2,
Mm.
um, Jingle All the Way? What are you looking for in if you could have an Arnold pin, what
Mm.
would it be? Or have they already released it? I would say a new T2 because I think that's the best Terminator movie. Um, however, I would love to see a Total Recall. That would be kind of cool.
Total Recall is great. Last Action Hero, one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies growing up, so that would be also pretty cool. But
A refresh of that would
yeah,
be awesome.
yeah, refresh would be cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Arnold's great, so
Yeah, exactly. So
a lot of good movies.
that is the news. I mean, we've got Space Hunt coming on shore. Alice in Wonderland is starting to ship. The Jaws 50th anniversary. What'd you think of the red? I think it looks pretty cool. I would definitely get the LE if I could, but they're not really dropping in price. They did for a little, but now they're sort of holding their value at 13, 14 with the topper. They were selling for 11 and 12, but I think the new 1.0 code has everybody really enjoying it. What do you think of the Jaws anniversary release?
Yeah, it looks fine. I mean, the red accents are nice. I'm sure the sparkle playfield looks good under light. But I mean, the code I think is the biggest thing that was kind of
Yeah.
snuck in there under the announcement. Like 1.0 is huge for
Yeah.
a cornerstone, especially in Elwyn.
Yep.
And I'm excited to play it. I haven't gotten a lot of time on the 1.0 code yet, but it looks great. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
same
it'll be good.
here. I think the addition of I think they were smart to hold the 1.0 till the release of the anniversary. I get why they did it. But man, Stern firing on all cylinders with code releases. John Wick got revamped, Uncanny X-Men got revamped. I played the new code. I really enjoy how they made the future. They changed the future. So you beat a battle, then you get sent to the future automatically,
Yep.
and then you have to defeat the Sentinels to collect that perk for that X-Men. So if you don't, you don't, but you don't get the perk, but it's much more intuitive than
Yeah.
having to work towards the future. Did you get to play the new code?
Yeah, I played it for X-Men and for Wick, and yeah, I think it's Mike Vinicor was
Yep.
kind
MXV.
of taking the reins on that, and yeah, shout out Mike, dude. He crushed it on both games. I think they're radically different, but I think in a good way, and
Yeah.
much more approachable for all players.
Yeah, you need that. You gotta make it flow somewhat, not only with the engineering, but with the code. Like I still think the issue with Wick is figuring out what you need to do still, but they'll get there. I as much as it got maligned, man, if you can get in a groove on Wick, it is fun. It is a lot of fun to play. Things are beeping and going off. You're like, I'm at 50 million all of a sudden. And as you'll see when we review the footage with El Rucko of the 2025 YEGPIN Women's Finals, Brienne Hunt crushed it, and she had a really good game, and that was not an easy wick. So her score is the equivalent of getting billions, basically. So yeah, so that's all the news. We're gonna head on into the rest of our podcast episode. So the way it'll work is right now we're gonna do a little viewer request and put a spin on it. I hope you all enjoy it. But make sure to reach out to us, wizards and warriors podcast at gmail.com. If you want to highlight your upcoming or recent tournament, you have a question about competitive pinball. And so, yeah, thanks for listening. Let's get on with the rest of the episode 8. So here we go. We've got a viewer request here. And what I'm going to do is show this. This comes from Blueberry Johnson, Dr. Blueberry Johnson. It was ranked the hardest wizard modes to achieve. I forgot to ask this of Leslie, but we're going to ask it to you now. We'll do a quick little overview of this, but what do you think, whether you're a seasoned player, novice, is the hardest wizard mode to achieve? Now, some of these are not common titles, but we've kind of grabbed them from different resources and polls and other players. So what I want you to do is take this list or come up with your own list of at least 3. You're not don't have to do more than that. Give me the 3 hardest wizard modes to achieve. Send an email to wizardsandwarriorspodcast@gmail.com. I'll put everybody in a wheel spin and we'll randomly select a winner to win some swag, whether that's Frisco Pinball swag, swag I picked up at pinball tournaments. I'm not giving you my leftovers, I promise. But we'll give you a prize. You just tell me your address, and then we'll mail it out to you. So again, the way you enter is give me a list of 3 separate wizard modes that you find are the hardest to achieve. Email wizardsandwarriorspodcast@gmail.com, and then we'll enter you there. And this will be open until we record our next episode, which will probably be within a couple weeks. So please get those entries in. Don't dawdle. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right. So we have a list here. Simpsons, Super Duper Mega Extreme Wizard Mode, Iron Maiden Run to the Hills, Lord of the Rings Valinor, Spider Man Superhero, Iron Man Do or Die, Big Buck Hunter Open Season, 24 Agent 24, and World Poker Tour Kiefer Invitational. Now, I'm going to cut out for my list 24, Big Buck Hunter, and World Poker Tour. Even though I know World Poker Tour is up there because I haven't played them heavily. So I don't really know what it's going to take to get there, especially for Big Buck Hunter and 24. My number 3 would probably have to be Iron Man Do or Die. No, Spider Man Superhero. Because you have to get all the movie modes, all the villains, I believe all the multi balls, and then I think the movie modes are the side modes as well. So I've gotten to the first mini wizard, and that was a lot. To get to the last one on this one, I think I'm going Spider Man. What about you?
If we're ranking, so starting with the third
Yeah, third
hardest,
toughest.
I don't know. It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've gotten to any of these
Well, I don't neither have
these
I.
wizard modes. It's hard to kind of
Yeah, I
rank
haven't
them.
either, but I guess if you had to just guesstimate which one's gonna be your third toughest.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with superhero and
Yeah.
Spider Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played Battle Royale, and I mean,
That's the
it's
one.
a game that I really enjoy playing and feel comfortable on, but I don't think I've gotten to superhero before. So it's
Neither have I. And I've gotten to Battle Royale, and I was like, "Oh my god, I made it." And then someone
yeah.
was like, "No, dude, there's like 100 other things you have to do." All right, so what's your number 2?
Number 2, I'll throw Iron Man on there. I'm actually not. I don't know. I don't think I've gotten even close to Do or Die, but I know that I think the first time I even heard about it was at the first Beast tournament, and I think it was like Aaron Rich had gotten to that mode. Like during qualifying, everyone was just like, "What the hell?" You just put up like a monster score. It ended up being like the top score. Um, but yeah, I'll put that as number 2. I think I lost you on audio.
Oh shit, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for number 2, I was going to go Super Duper Mega Extreme Wizard mode because all the TV modes, which is hard enough, um all the multi balls, all the jackpots, and there's a bunch of other like side modes. I feel like there's like Cletus. You still have to get Cletus, which is through the left pops. It's like that whitewater shot, but reversed. I forgot what it was, but I've never seen anybody get it. I've heard uh, Bigfoot style tall tales about it, where someone's cousin who worked at Nintendo for a day got it. And yeah, I'll put Simpson Super Duper Mega Extreme Wizard mode there. And yeah, so number 1, let's go with Valinor. I feel like that is that is the ultimate end game for a lot of professional players. And for anybody that owns Lord of the Rings, it's an amazing pin. I've seen people on stream go for it, and I don't know, man. It just I've got I've achieved like 40% of the way there. I've played Lord of the Rings a good amount of times, and there's just so much you have to do. And the gift of the elves is such a grind. But then you're getting to destroying the ring, and then the multi-balls with the jackpots there. I don't know. I think Valinor is the ultimate end game for me. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's definitely up there. I mean, for me, I think I'm gonna put Run to the Hills at the top,
Yeah.
just because Iron Maiden's near and dear to my heart. It's the only game that I own, and it's still something that I'm striving to go for. So,
So what do you need
yeah.
for Run to the Hills? You need
I think you need to collect all 10 tomb treasures
Yep.
to get there, and it's like you basically have to do everything in the game, and it's
I feel like I get one and I'm like, yeah, 10 million points for the one one treasure. But yeah,
yeah.
so that's our list. Recapping, I had number 1, Valinor, number 2, Simpsons Super Duper Mega Extreme Wizard Mode, and number 3, Spider-Man Superhero. Joe, you had?
Yep, Run to the Hills is my top, and then Do or Die, Iron Man, and then I think I also had Superhero
Yeah.
for
So
third.
again, please email us wizards and warriors podcast at gmail.com with your top 3 hardest wizard modes to achieve and get in the running before the next episode for a prize that we will send to you. So our little game's over. Thank you, Dr. Blueberry Johnson, for that great question. You can also send us questions or send us tournaments you want to promote at the same email address I entered or I mentioned before. Right now, we're going to go to the recent tournaments and highlight your winners. And after that, we hope you stay on for an excellent interview with Leslie Ruckman, El Rucko, your 2025 Women's YEGPIN Championship or champion. So we'll start here. The first tournament we want to highlight is the second running of the Pindianapolis 500. Very cool themed tournament. I remember they were promoting it in Ray Day's Discord last year and looked like a blast. I hope to go one year. Your winners there are Laser Los, Carlos de la Cerda in first, getting 100 whoppers. This was held in obviously Indianapolis, Indiana. Carlton Plord, second, 78.09. Third, John Rangel with 66.30 whoppers. And then you have a list of your other winners there. Christopher DeWitt Jr., Tyler Becker, Joe Bayer, Charlie Hornet, Tanner Troyer, and Bob Skinner. What do we got after that?
Yep. After that, we've got the New England Pinball Championship. Winner there was Bone Cairns.
Yeah.
With 92 points. Noah Crable got second with 69.34. Nick DeStefano third, 57. And Connor Mulberry in fourth, 48. Yeah.
Nice. Congrats to everybody at the NEPC. Got suppressed player there, tied for fifth too. So Brian O'Neill, shout out to you. That was held May 25th. So after that, the amazing pinball race. I really do hope I get to go to this one. Held in Ostrander, Ohio, run by TD Galvin Morgan. Your winners there on May 25th. Big weekend for pinball. Jesse Baker, 127 whoppers. Preston Curry, 106.69. Sterling Matoska, the young dynamo, with 94.90 whoppers in third. Neil Graff, 85.63. And Galvin, look at you, fifth for 77.84. Your other winners there, Bateman Edwards, Jared Smith, Jack Nebraska, Dominic Labella, Steve Bowden, and Glos.
Nice. Up next, we've got the DFW Pinball Titan Pinball Championship.
Yeah, this was fun.
Out in, how do you say that? Azle, Texas?
Yeah, Azle. It was held in a fireworks warehouse. So,
whoa,
yeah, the guy that runs a lot of the fireworks stands here, he's a big pinball player, Randy Nelson. Thank you. Shout out to you for opening your place up. And yeah, it was 2 days worth of match play, and I was doing well, and then I flamed out in the last 2-3 rounds.
Was it a mega match play, Hadi?
It was 2 games per round, 10 rounds, yeah. So,
Yeah, mega nice.
yeah, and with that, we were trying to get as many whoppers as we could, and as you can see, the winner got a healthy amount.
Huge, yeah. Colin McAlpine, shout out. He got first with 122 points.
Yeah.
Big. Um, Nick Mueller in second with 102. Robert Byers third with 90, and Scott Love in fourth with 81.95.
Yeah, congrats to all the players there. Really well done. Thank you again, everybody. TD Lewis Marks, Garrett Shahan, Carpool Pinball, Keith Shan, Clark McCoy, everybody, Harrison Maxwell. You guys killed it as far as keeping everything running. It was a lot of fun. So Stomp 7, June 8th, the main, Zachary Fry, your TD, in beautiful East Rochester, New York at the Rochester Pinball Collective. Kudos to Slam Tilt Podcast for highlighting that tournament. Your winner is Alex Kelly. Nice.
Hey, nightlight.
Nightlife. 110 Whoppers. Good job. Zachary Frey, 88 in second. Andy Cushman, 76 in third. And Sanjay Shah, fourth with 67.75. You got Jeff Teolis there, tied for seventh. Alberto Santana, Bob Swan, Dante Oliva, all in your top 10.
Up next, we've got the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show. That was run by Jermaine up in Tacoma, Washington. Your winner is Colin Urban with
Nice.
175 points.
Ooh.
Man, this is the hefty tournament. Look at the top. Was it almost top 10 players all got like 100 points?
Yeah, note to self.
Yeah. Noah Sicard in second with 155 points. Tim Hansen in third with 143. And then rounding out the top four, we got Conrad Rustad with 133 points.
We don't know games. There you go.
Yeah. Shout out Conrad.
Yeah. All right. Now that's what I call Whoppers Volume 2, June 15th in Bay City, Michigan. TD Jeff Palmer. Sterling taking first with Sterling McToska with 88.62 Whoppers. Jared August in second with 66. Dominic Labella, 54.41. Nathan Brooks, 45.69. Tyrus Eagle, fifth at 38.78 Whoppers. Lot of strong players there.
Very nice. Up next, we've got the Pinburgh Satellite Mega Match Play at Arcade Legacy. So we got another Ohio tournament here. This is up in Cincinnati, run by Jesse Baker. Got another laser low sighting here. Shout out Carlos, taking this one down, 112 points. Matt Waters in second with 89. Oh, this is I watched the finals of this tournament. It was really good.
Nice.
I know Matt. Shout out Matt. He was talking about how he was kind of Carlos's co-pilot the entire kind of finals and was able to ride with him all the way to the end. So that's pretty
That's awesome.
Yeah. Steve Bowden and Jesse Baker looks like they tied for third.
Wow.
76 points there.
Yeah, some really good Whoppers this summer, man. There's been so many good tournaments. We talked about this with El Rucko about one of the best things we've seen in pinball has been the growth to allow more regional tournaments to have larger Whoppers so everybody doesn't have to flock to one area or one location. So this is major proof of that, especially being a satellite too for Pinburgh. So we have next up the Southern Fried Gaming Expo 2025 main event, the hybrid best game. That was TD by Tyler Campbell, located in Atlanta, Georgia. Your winner, Braden Gentry, with 116.52 Whoppers. Dalton Pinball, Dalton Ely, 99.81 in second. Liam Bradley, good showing in third with 90.28 Whoppers. And Ryan Hardy and Tommy Vernieri, my roommate at YEGPIN, rounding out 4 and 5, 82 and 76 Whoppers respectively.
Yep. Real quick shout out to Ryan Hardy. He's one of the local players near me in Northern Virginia. And he doesn't really play very much. I know he's in school right now and he's back home for the summer. And yeah, if you look at his rank, he's like in the 4,000s, but he, taking down top 4 podium at a big event like that is huge.
So, yeah, 82 Whoppers and you're in the 4,000s. It's like, yeah, top 1,000. So
he's a really strong player. And yeah, I hope he can make it to more events.
Awesome.
Up next, we've got the 2025 NKY Pinball Open. This happened this past weekend, actually.
Yeah.
So this is out in Independence, Kentucky. Your TD is Eric Wertenberger, and we've got our winners here. Ross Bergantino taking first with 52 points. Uh, yet another Carlos sighting, Carlos Del Cerda, second with 39. He's been busy this month.
Yeah, that doesn't make his card, I bet.
Christopher DeWitt Jr. in third with 33 points, and then Jeremy Ryan in fourth with 28.
Awesome. So congratulations, everybody, on all your amazing, amazing placements, tournaments being run. So much fun to go over and watch. It kind of gives us sort of a look, a bigger look over what's going on in the competitive landscape for pinball. I enjoy it. Again, as you know, I could talk hours about it. But those are your recent results. We are leaving the worlds out for a reason. We'll talk about the world results that were held in Austria on our next episode, episode 9 of Wizards and Warriors. I hope you stay tuned for that one and tune in. Again, you can catch us at youtube.com/FriscoPinball or check out Wizards and Warriors on Spotify, Apple Music. We have an RSS feed. I'll include all the links in the show notes or the notes on YouTube, wherever you can get it. And make sure you bookmark it. Do the things that the kids say, like, follow, like, and subscribe. But we have some big tournaments coming up. We want to highlight those. Sweeper City Open in Ohio, Galvin and crew, coming up next week, July 17th through the 19th. Are you going to that?
I am not.
Okay, neither am
But
I.
I heard it's a good event.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that for sure, but it's going to be a blast. They're already revealing the games they revealed the games and they're showing like which ones are being moved in now. So after that, we've got the Brisbane Masters, July 19th to 20th. And what's after that, Joe?
Ooh, we got Pinburgh.
Yeah.
Pinburgh's back.
Pinburgh's
Bigger
back.
and better.
2 times the fun. We will both be there. Last year was a great experience. I missed qualifying by 1 point. I remember in Paragon, you made A, and then Steve Zoller got bumped up with the rule of A restrictions or whatnot. So it was otherwise there was going to be like a crazy tiebreaker to get into A. So it was a good experience. What are you expecting out of Pinburgh this year? We've seen some banks, and they are trying to be diplomatic here. They are intriguing. The first bank,
Yeah.
fine. The next 3 banks have been very tough to figure out how to approach it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, with it being twice as large in player size this year, I mean, there's 20, the 4 banks that have been revealed so far. There's 21 banks to go.
Oof.
So I'm going to be real interested in to see how they fit all of these banks up in that the movie theater. I think they're going to extend it to the first floor, I believe.
Okay, I hope so, because
Um,
yeah, I don't think they'd have enough room for Bash at the Berg and the.
right.
And I mean, I guess women's will use the banks that aren't being used, but
Yeah.
um,
So we'll see. I mean, I have faith, and the obviously the Pinburgh crew is well seasoned, and they know
yeah,
what they're doing. So yeah, we'll see, man. I'm very excited. It was one of my favorite events to go to last year. Had a really great time, and um, excited to see everyone there.
yeah, it's going to be a pinball party. It is a master class tournament. So if you get a chance, watch the coverage. I think Fox Cities is streaming it this year. I don't think IE Pinball is, but or if you get a chance, go. If there's any satellites near you, try to compete. But for next year, also hit F5 and get your refresh on. It's going to be fun. So that's in 2 weeks. I will see you there, and then after that, we have the Beast. Really fun tournament too. I will be at that one. I don't think you're going to that, right?
As of this right now, not sure, but it's on the back burner. I'll try
Yeah.
to make it if I can.
Uh, Organized by Jeff Teolis and the crew at Pocketeer Billiards and everybody up there in Buffalo, New York. It was a good time last year. I really liked the food. Tournament itself was fun. It's a nice go at your own pace herb style format. So pump and dump. I
Jeff's
love
been posting videos too. That expansion room is open now, so it's gonna
yeah,
be a lot more space.
a lot more space, more time to test the pins beforehand. So there's no too tight of a tilt. You know, you really want something. It's really hard as a TD and tech to get it right. But man, they did a great job last year, minus a couple pins, but it was so much fun. And then, you know, we've got the schedule listed right here. If you are listening to this podcast, please try to check out the video if you can, so you can follow along with us. It also helps in the interview portion because get to follow along and see all the footage from YEGPIN. So here's your Stern Pro Circuit. Excuse me. Rest of the year schedule. You know, Northwest Pinball Championships in August, Papa, Pinball Expo, Free Play Florida, Cincinnati CP Pinball Winter Bash, and then the D82 Summer Pinball Classic, which is TBD. But that's it. That's our recap of all the recent tournaments. Before we get into the interview, we'd like to thank everybody for listening and watching. Joe, do you have anything before I cue us up?
I think we're good, man. Keep playing pinball. Can't wait to see you, Hadi.
Yeah, you too, man. It's been fun. It's been a great year and a half. And as I used to say at the end of my streams, before we get into it, again, upcoming right now, the interview with Leslie Ruckman, El Rucko, the 2025 YEGPIN Women's Champion. Peace, love, and pinball, folks. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 8, Wizards and Warriors. I'm so glad you all are here. We've got a great episode for you this time, just like all the other times as well. But we have our special guest. We mentioned it at the beginning of this episode. What we'd like to do is highlight a recent major tournament, or any tournament, doesn't have to be major, but and hopefully get to interview one of the winners. And I promise we won't just interview the winners. I'm never going to get interviewed because I don't win these, but you know, it would be nice to talk to as many people in the competitive pinball community as we can with my co-host here, Joe Landis. Jay Land, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Hadi? How's it
Hey,
going, man?
good to see you again. But our special guest is Leslie Ruckman, aka El Rucko. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on. We saw each other recently at YEGPIN. It was a blast. It was a lot of pinball. We got to see a guy or girl in a Yegi suit, which was cool. They had Dune there. A lot of pinball to play. I know we talked about classics and main and women's, and luckily I got grabbed up into A after the first day of match play. I think you felt my pain. And yeah, I didn't make any moves, but it was nice to get grabbed up to get into A division. How you feeling post YEGPIN? I know you probably played a lot more pinball after that. And yeah, what were your
Yeah.
thoughts overall on YEGPIN before we begin?
It was a lot of fun. I went like 3 years ago, whatever year it was, like right after the pandemic. Back when like everyone was really antsy to play some more. So I gave it a little break because thought the games were hard and whatnot. But I'm glad I came back, and I'll probably go back again next year.
Yeah,
I'm right there. So
exactly. It wasn't too far of a trip for you. What'd you think of the setup? I know the year before people were kind of saying, "Hey, what's up with the 2x4s?" And it was, you know, precision lightning flippers everywhere. It was tough.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
my.
There was definitely a couple games where I'm just like,
Did you
but
really need that?
yeah. But for the most part, I thought it was fine for yeah, I don't know. Especially like a lot of the news turns, like you expect them to be like a crazy tight tilt, but it was
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen precision lightning flippers, and then it was I forgot
Same.
what color rubbers on it, but I was like, great, it's like the holy trinity of forget not being able to play log.
Yeah, that was my first time playing with those as well, and it was really noticeable for me on Rick and Morty,
Yes, that's the one I was
and I was
thinking
on
of.
that bank 3 times.
That was the one I was thinking of. First, I don't know how to play Rick and Morty because it never I never see it anywhere. I
Yeah,
played
I
it.
forgot.
Yeah, and someone was like, "Well, you gotta hit this and this." I'm like, "I can't the first ball I had like 5,000 points because I didn't even get the skill shot." I was like, "This is this is the worst game I've ever played," I think. Although I have gotten a
Yeah.
0 before, so Let's ask you some questions. For those that don't know you, Leslie Ruckman, El Rucko, how did you get introduced to pinball?
Um, I mean, it's not that exciting of a story, but Ryan and I had moved to Chicago, so we lived by Logan Arcade.
Okay.
Um, our friend invited us to go play in his Killer Queen tournament,
The
so we
arcade.
did that, and everyone was yelling at each other, and it was really intense. Um, but when we got knocked out, we just started playing pinball, and
Nice.
then there was a league there, and then all your friends become pinball people,
Yeah.
and then it's all you do all of a sudden.
What about pinball kind of attracted you to the hobby? What was it about after playing Killer Queens, which is a great arcade game? I think that's
Yeah, it's
phenomenal.
fun.
But what sort of hooked you in?
Um, I think mostly it's just like we were in a new city and it was just a good way to hang out and meet people.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were on a team. And so it was also a good way to like explore the city. Yeah, that's mostly it.
Nice.
Nice. Would you say that you have a goal set for yourself this year? I feel like it's always important to look forward to something, you know?
Um,
I guess it doesn't
yeah,
have to be specifically competitive focused, but
I know. This year, I don't know if I have a goal for myself. I mean, in the past, it was like getting number one in open, which
mm,
I didn't think would happen, but I'm
Congrats.
still here somehow. Um, yeah, I don't know, just, like, there was always little milestones that I tried to reach, and once I got there, it's like, "Oh, well, what's the next thing, and what's the next thing?" Yeah, so I remember even in, like, 2019, my goal was just to make it for Women's Worlds, and I only made it because Danny Peck couldn't go or didn't go.
Hey, it still counts.
still
Yeah, so I don't know, it was always, like, just, like, inching my way.
That's awesome.
awesome.
So you started getting serious when? Like with competitive pinball in Chicago. And then I'm assuming that's after that is when you moved to the West Coast?
Yeah,
Okay.
so 2017, we moved back to California, and that's when we started, like, really competing.
Nice.
Like, I think in Chicago, I only did 1 tournament, um, poorly, and then a season of Bells and Chimes. So yeah, after we moved, then again, it was just, like, kind of a way to meet people and something to do and explore a new city.
So aside from meeting people, was there something in the competitive aspect that you sort of enjoyed? Like, have you ever done anything competitively, sports in high school or college, that sort of triggered something you're like, you know what? I like this. I mean, for me, it's because it's something I feel like I can do without worrying about breaking something at my age. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll get a little arthritis, but I can still do this at a decent level. So it's a ego feeder, I would say, for me. But was there anything for
Yeah.
you that sort of triggered a competitive gene in you or
Um, I've definitely always been competitive, I guess, like, even as a kid. Like, I just wanted to be, like, the fastest runner in
yeah,
class or whatever, little things like that. I swam a lot,
that's good.
but that's it as far as sports. So, I don't know, just, this was definitely an outlet for that.
That's good.
And also just, like, Ryan and I playing together, we'd always, like, kinda compete against each other, I guess.
It's nice to have a competitive edge with your significant other. Something to it kinda keeps your brain active and kinda, it's good. I always tell my
Yeah,
wife, "Let's break out the Mario Kart. Let's go."
yeah. See, I'm competitive and stuff like
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Carries over. Nice. Yeah, well, Hadi and I watch a lot of like tournament footage. Obviously you make it to the finals a lot. Would you say that or how do you say you handle like pressure and like nerves and being in those kind of high pressure situations? Like when you're in,
I mean,
in
do I?
finals?
I don't know. Like, even still, like, for, like, small local things, like, the first couple of games, like, I'll be up there and then, like, all of a sudden my fingers are shaking, you know? Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess just, like, doubt is always, I think, my biggest hurdle. So getting through that and reminding myself that I'm there for a reason, I guess, or that like I earned it.
Yeah, I mean, if
Makes you
you've
feel alive.
yeah. You've been in those situations, so I'm sure there's I mean, I'm sure everybody has doubts. I guarantee even the top 5 players have moments like, "Oh, why'd this happen? Why'd the sling go that way?" and all that. I mean, it's not an easy thing to break for sure. Do you have
Yeah.
a, preferred location that you've played in? So now I know you've been in Chicago, Cali, Washington. Is there a scene you sort of gravitate towards more? I know
Um,
Washington is huge as far as number of players. I was surprised that it had the top number of players for the IFPA. So I would imagine it's amazing there. Chicago's the center of pinball, and I mean, I'm from California, so I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but California's California, and it's probably got a lot of like, great locations. So
yeah. There's different things I liked about each one, but right now, definitely Seattle
yeah, yeah.
is my favorite.
That's awesome. Do you have, like, a
Yeah, just like
location there?
how huh?
Do you have a favorite location, Icebox or
Probably Icebox, yeah. I like that even if we're there all day for, like, one of the long Germain tournaments, they have a really big patio, so you can kinda, like, still feel like you went outside even though you're inside playing pinball all day.
you touch grass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Ryan commentating on the last Max match play. I think he sat down to ask Jermaine something, and then Jermaine left. He's like, "Well, I'm commentating now." So
Yeah. Yeah, it's good vibes over there.
yeah. How'd you do in that one?
Nice.
Did you pl No no comment? Okay, Joe, you're up.
No,
Sure.
wasn't my
um,
day.
Leslie, in the 8 or so years that you've been playing competitively, would you say that there's like a single event or a win that stands out to you?
Mm, definitely getting second in Women's Worlds was one, just because every single, like, match I made it past, I'm just like, "How is this happening?" Like and then once it was, like, so close, I'm like, "Oh, this is it." But,
This is one in Tarium?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was one, winning Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show. The open event
Yeah.
was another good one. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's also, like, little things that, like, stand out that I'm always just amazed at, I guess, after the fact.
Do you
Do
have
you
a
remember your first, tournament win?
Um, I did win that first Bells and Chimes,
Oh,
um, in Chicago, and
nice.
I remember then my friend was like, "You got, like, 30 something points for that," and I'm like, "What are points? I don't what?" Yeah,
Do you have a favorite
come
trophy?
a long way. What's that?
Do you have a favorite trophy from one of those standout wins, or is that different?
My favorite trophy
Yes.
is this guy, and
Ooh,
it's for novice division for Golden State Pinball Festival, 4th place.
nice. That's a
Oh,
pretty
But
one.
cool.
I like that.
yeah, it's really pretty, so
Yeah, that's
I
a good
keep it
one.
here.
It's like a is it Flash, the playfield?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. What would you say I think this is an important question for all players, old and new. What do you think is the best piece of advice you've been given regarding competitive pinball? Whether it's nerves, whether it's how to approach a pin you've never seen, whether it's how to approach a complex rule set. What do you think is the best piece of advice you've been given?
Mm, to not be scared of the game, I guess. Or not be scared to, like, take a shot, which I still get that way sometimes. Um, but skill-wise, I mean, this advice wasn't specifically given to me, but something that stuck in my head is I think Travis Murray talks about a lot is, like, how pinball's kinda like chess or, like, pool, where you always have to think about, like, your next move. So it's not just, like, getting it on the flipper, it's, like, thinking about what flipper you want it on. And just always thinking in advance, having those moves planned out. I feel like that's helped, I don't know, just, like, It's like a good way to think about it, I guess.
Yeah, it's easier in my head for sure. Like I'm like, "Oh, I'll get it on the right flipper and set it up and everything will be a-okay." And then it's on the left flipper and it's, out the left outlay. I'm like, "Oh, well, in my head
Yeah.
I won."
Um, let's see. Lizzie, how often do you play just for fun or like for practice?
Uh, going to tournaments is my practice, I guess.
Mm,
So every Friday at Icebox.
nice.
Yeah, even like at home, we have 2 games. We don't play them that often. We just got volley though, so we have been playing at home
Ooh. Hell yeah.
because it's new.
So, is there $5 volley in your household, or is there something else,
We
like,
haven't done that yet, but we should.
whoever loses cooks dinner?
Yeah.
Are there any pins that you sort of feel most in tune with or, like, game-specific strategies where you're super confident in? I know, obviously, ones you've owned, like, I agree with you, it's really I have these pins behind me, but, life gets busy, and I really get most of my practice either if I go on location or play in a tournament. But are there the ones you're like you step up to and not to the point where you're like, "Oh, yeah, I got this," but where you feel super comfortable with?
Definitely Jurassic Park.
That's a good one to
Um,
know.
I don't know, it's just one of those where I have, like, the script laid out, and then I just do it. Yeah. I feel like in the past, like, 2 years, I've gotten not, like, really good at that game, but, like, I feel comfortable on it.
You've made it your own, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to watch
So
you
fun.
play it in a competition now because I want that script. It always kills me. I've only done well on it once in a tournament, and you know what to do, but it's such a stop and go Elwyn. It's kinda crazy. It plays different than his other
Love it.
flowy pins. Since starting 8 years ago, you've climbed to number 1 in open women's. What is the one mindset shift or habit that you think has made the biggest difference? Or is it just constantly playing and practicing?
It was just constantly playing, but not only that, just, like, constantly competing.
Yeah.
Um, because like, I've met people that, like, play a lot, but they don't compete, and they're good, but then when it comes to compete, like, it's just different. Like, your nerves and thinking about the game differently, thinking about playing against opponents differently. Um, so yeah, when we first got into it, we just, like, competed so much.
Yeah.
I still get nervous, but I don't know, it's just like, I never think I'm, like, so good that I'm, like, gonna blow up a game or something, but I know, like, how to win against opponents, I guess.
Yeah. Do you, since you've been competing, is there something that you've been sorta surprised happy with the way competitive pinball has grown? For me, like, I'll give you an example. When I first started, I went to, District 82 for the first time, and I thought it was this mecca, and I still think it is. But I'm really happy with how many more opportunities there are to earn a large amount of whoppers regionally. So not everybody has to fly into Milwaukee or Green Bay to get the opportunity for 50 to 60 whoppers in a tournament. Is there anything since you've started 8 years ago that you've been kind of happy with and seeing grow?
I mean, that's a good one. Thanks, Josh,
Yeah, right.
for making some changes. I'd say just, like, the growth of women in pinball is awesome. Um, we're still a minority,
Yeah.
but there's more of us, and a lot of us are really good, so
Do you
yeah.
have anybody that you love competing against in the women's division? Is there some group of ladies or maybe one particular competitor you're like, yes, it's my
A
turn.
rival, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, so many. I don't know. Women's tournaments, they just, like, have a different vibe to them, and everyone's always really supportive,
Yeah,
even if
that's
it's,
true.
like, for a world champion. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Mm.
that's cool. Joe, do you have any other questions? I am all questioned out. I think she's gone the
Um,
gauntlet.
yeah, I guess, do you have a routine that you do, like, before you start playing in a especially if you know you're gonna be at, like, a venue, like, all day? Do you have, like, I don't know, some kind of, like, plan, like a diet plan or something. Not a diet plan, but like, just like a
Yeah.
specific meal that you like go to or
A
like
bowl of
pack a sandwich.
Wheaties.
Yeah. The biggest thing I could think of just for like a weekend of tournament is I always bring 2 pairs of shoes
Mm,
and just like switch off day to day. I think that really helps.
um,
Um, but also it's just so hard to get sleep at these things.
It is.
yeah.
It
The days
really
are so long, and then when I get home to my hotel, I like start watching the stream to see if like I could find like there's a weird feed or something, anything that's gonna help. So I like barely sleep at these things.
Mm,
It's exhausting.
Yeah, they are
heard
that I've learned that you don't, one, they I didn't realize how long they went. The first tournament I went to, I was like, I told my wife and kids, "Oh, I'll be back in a few hours." It was like 10 hours, and I made the
Yeah.
playoffs for one of the first times. I'm like, "Can I go home, please? I don't want to play anymore. This is too much." And then going to these big ones, you're right, they go till 11 or so, and then you gotta get to your hotel or Airbnb, and then it gets
Yeah.
up like, I kinda see what Ray Day's saying, no more early starts, like, can we get an 11 o'clock starting time? But yeah. So, thank you for answering our questions. It's been awesome hearing your insights and, thoughts on how you grew into the competitive pinball scene. But we also have you here for another reason. We want to congratulate you. You are the 2025 YEGPIN Women's Match Play Champion. So kudos to you. You earned a lot of points there, and we want to kind of go over your final round with the other three competitors. So while we load that up, you want to kind of tell us, I know we talked about it a little, but the women's match play, what was the format as far as, was it a day of qualifying or was it just a set period or 2 days?
It was like a mega match play. Like we played 20 games
Gotcha.
in a short amount of time. And they tried to cut it down, just because it was taking too long. Um,
That's right.
so
That's right.
it got put to a vote, and everyone still wanted to play what we were promised. Um, so in the end, they just said, "Okay, no more practice," which I thought it was fine because a lot of us, like, were already played in the open, so that was practice enough.
Yeah.
But
No, I totally agree. That it reminds me of the expo when it was like the brackets and it was like 4 a.m. Everyone's like, I can't play it. I got a flight to catch.
I was there.
Yeah, that's oh. So, the scoring was 4-2-1-0, and you had 3 games. Uh, you had the banks to choose from. So, did you play this bank previously in the semis or the
Did.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I had a buy, and then this was the first bank I chose.
Okay, so you went straight to the semis or quarters, right?
For quarters.
Okay.
Yes, quarters.
Gotcha,
Yeah, I played
gotcha.
24.
Okay.
mhm.
So your opponents were Brienne Hunt, who I was actually in the Airbnb with Tommy Vernieri. She's a great player, great person, fun to talk to, and she's she's got skills. She was laser focused.
Yeah.
Jane Verweiss from Hot Nudge, a great player, and then Deborah Tallman, obviously another great player. So, what made you choose this bank of John Wick Pro, Abra Ca Dabra, and Avatar?
Well, it's what I started out with, and I kinda do like to pick my favorites just off the shoot, just to, like, progress at least around, which I don't know, some people save it for last. Well, so you could choose the same bank again, you just couldn't pick it back to back.
Okay.
So, um, but I played this bank earlier, I liked it, I did okay, so I wanted to play it again. I mostly just didn't wanna play Jaws also from another bank. Um, I don't know, just of it was weird, you had to, like, choose a bank and then, like, choose a starting game, and then you just, like, move to the right.
Gotcha. That's right.
Um, and then, like, the last game would have been a tiebreaker if we went to that, which was Robo War, which I like that game, so
Yeah, that
yeah, I don't know.
was that one. That Robo War was tough because I could not get up that left ramp unless it was rolling down, like from a trap. It didn't have enough power to get the most important shot.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad I didn't have to play it.
all right. So the first game we have you on is John Wick Pro. So I like to let our guests talk about the strategy for what they think on John Wick Pro. In a nutshell, this was before the new code. I haven't played the new code, so I don't know. I know some big changes, but the Pro, there is no briefcase, so you're just hitting that briefcase like stand up or target. So there's no giant protruding briefcase, and your skill shot would sometimes register. I saw a few of you trying to get it to register, but what is your strategy on John Wick?
Um, so I played this in the open
Okay.
the day before, and I thought it played fine. So that's also why I chose it. Um, this game is so bad. But usually, I actually like to go for Winston, for the red is it the red button? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, the dance club
Yeah.
multi-ball?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, I was so thrown off in this game, and then I started going for car instead, and it was just all bad. I changed strategies, it was no good,
Yeah,
and then I didn't know what I was doing.
this one
It was
was
like an out of body experience, I don't know.
So we're gonna watch
You
your
just, like,
first
blacked
ball
out.
here. Yeah, we're gonna watch your first ball here.
Yeah, so I was expecting to have a ball save. I mean, I break my shot, owning my drain, but
Right.
I was just, like, so, like, "Wait, what just happened?" And yeah.
Yeah, that was a missed shot to the left, and then it just went straight down the middle. Again, if you are listening to this podcast, I would strongly recommend you also check out the video form. It's on Spotify and YouTube at youtube.com/FriscoPinball. You can look for the Wizards and Warriors playlist. Because we are watching the footage, we'll do our best to do play-by-play, but it really is a better experience watching it, so you can kind of follow along with what we have. So there's the different multi-balls, the hotel multi-ball, which is deconsecrated. They were having a fun time on stream. Trying to figure out what that meant because they said it was consummated multi-ball, which is a whole different meaning. And then there's also the car multi-ball where I didn't realize you have to hit the spinner.
Yeah, me either. Someone told me that
Yeah,
after this ball,
yeah,
and then I'm like, "Okay," so I started full plunging. Yeah,
yeah, and
no
that's
good.
I think you changed your strategy because I didn't realize it activates the car. I was like, oh, I just bashed the
Yeah.
car, and then I wouldn't see the car target activate. I'm like, the car is broken. Can I get a TD? They're like, no, you have to actually hit
Working
the.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Joe,
why so usually I would go for Winston, that's why I didn't know how it worked.
Mm.
Joe, how would you approach John Wick?
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say I learned that also from watching this this VOD review about the spinner. I was like, I had no idea. Like, I thought you just had to hit the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, the two bash, toys on the top right of the playfield, the car and the hotel captive ball. Those are usually what I focus on first, just to kind of prep the multi balls, and then after that, I'll go for the crate to start a mode, to get that stack going.
Yeah,
All the while.
it's just crazy how this one played because not only did you have the precision flippers, right? It was already super fast, and right now, so Leslie on her ball one. Unfortunately, if you're watching the footage, she did not have a good one, but that's okay because we have a happy ending here. So, not on this game, but also, but we had Leslie get a house ball short plunge, and then Brienne steps up. She bashed her car into the suitcase to prep her mode started her blue mode, which was gather intel, and had a really good ball to prep all of her multi-balls, which will come into play um, on ball two because she does have a really, really solid ball. So I know on John Wick from this code, I would always try to get that yellow mode, which was assassination, I think. Is that something you've seen, Leslie? Like people
Yeah,
told you about that?
I don't really know what the different modes are, but I know the yellow one's good, or
Yeah.
it was at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, from
yeah,
what I
I know
understand,
very, like, surface level.
that's what I think I'm leading into is I know that the shots change your mode, correct? Like you hit a certain shot and then that's what your mode is chosen. And we just saw Jane there make a
Isn't
big
it on
move.
competition, it just starts one, though?
Huh?
Or am I wrong? On competition, doesn't it just, like, start one?
Oh, does it? Okay, you could be
I don't
right.
know.
I'll go with what
That
you.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, that sounds right. So Jane hits a couple ramps. Unfortunately, her big move right there gets a nudge, but it goes straight down the middle. So the scores are right now 20K for Leslie, 4.1 million for Brienne. Jane has 85K, and Deborah's going to step up and kind of experience the same sort of pain that players 1, 2, and now 4 will. Deborah, always fun to watch. She's always animated and having a good time. And it kind of brings me back to that answer you gave where the women's events are super supportive, because I always see them clapping for each other, cheering each other on. It is competition, but at the same time, it's nice to have that camaraderie. So we'll watch Deborah's short plunge here. And again, what we noticed during the review of the stream was that the short plunge didn't always give the skill shot. So there was one, I think she gets it here. It gives it to her. If that suitcase opens up, it didn't. So she has 120 points. She gets her left ramp, and then boom, she goes for the right ramp and right down the middle. So that's John Wick ball 1. Your ball 2, you did start a mode. Let's get to it. You were in heist. You started heist, and you kept bashing the car to try and get that multi-ball prepped. You missed. There was a dead bounce here. I think I totally understand why you had the read you did, because it looked like it was going to bounce from the top of the left flipper. I think that's where it was. I think it's right here. No, it's coming up soon. Yeah, it was one of those. It looked like it was supposed to be that dead bounce, but for whatever reason, it just didn't bounce the same way. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I just thought I thought it was gonna be a little closer to the
Yeah.
flipper. I don't know.
It looked like it had enough speed to bounce, and it just like died. I
Yeah.
don't know what the deal was with that one, but
Also a shorter flipper too, right? So
Yeah.
probably it just like barely hit the tip of the flipper there and just went down.
Yeah. Also, I think I started full plunging to like get this car spins,
yep.
and I had a ball save that ball, even without a
Yeah.
skill shot.
Yeah, the ball
So-
save was randomly activating because I think it was Jane Jane made a big move and her ball save was still active on this ball. So you're sitting there like, wait a minute, I didn't get the skill shot, but it still gave me the ball save. So
Yeah.
it must have been something in the competition mode where it's like, okay, I guess you get the ball save if you.
I was really confused this whole game. I think like later for ball 3, I also have a ball save, and at that point, since like everyone except Brienne had a pretty poor game, it's like that like stern like ball time.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, but I don't know.
It's like pity time. They get
Yeah, like
where you're owed a certain amount of time in playing it. So what are your thoughts going into ball 3 after seeing your score? I know it's John Wick. You expect low scores. You're 3 of your other competitors are kind of like doing the same as you. Only one person is really blowing it up, and this is where Brienne blows it up.
Yeah, Brienne has an amazing ball. So after this, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not gonna catch Brienne. I mean, if I did, that'd be awesome, but I'm just not. I'm just not. But looking at my opponent's scores, I'm like, well, I mean, second's still good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you got to get as many
I'm
points.
not out of it.
Yeah. So I'm going to play the video here because Brienne has a really good save.
And they give you more points. Sweet. So now she's.
I think they defeat enemies for you, so you have to hit the shots like one less time before they're worth.
It's coming up.
That's
it's a little hairy.
No, that's smart.
Yeah,
That
she was
makes
playing.
sense. Oh, no.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah.
She was in my group the round before this, and she swept that round.
Ooh.
She was just like really seeing the ball, and she was fighting.
Yeah, take it. This John Wick, her John Wick game was just excellent because I don't know what the high scores were, but this had to be close to, at least I would hope top 10, just based on how she was playing. So she has a really good ball too. She started her car multi-ball during her mode. It lights out during multi-ball. Do you know what lights out activates on John Wick? Just turns the playfield dark, and then
You're like it's multiplied, right? Or something?
I think if you hit the shots
be
that are
multiplied.
active while the lights are out, they're multiplied then. But you
Yeah.
have to remember which shots you have to hit, right? Is that it?
Yeah, I just kinda hit everything when I'm at that point, and I just try to, like, light another set of lights or whatever so that when I come out of it, I have another one.
Gotcha. How do you activate lights out? Do you know?
It's the lower, in lanes,
Okay, gotcha.
and the top light has to be lit to activate the lower one. So, you have to kinda I don't know, it's a lotta fancy flipper work.
Gotta finagle it. Yeah, she started her Tasca crew, gets her save, car multi-ball during her mode, lights out during multi-ball, grabs the extra ball. I forgot what it was worth. Collected all her allies and ends lights out with 52 million. Like it was a really good ball for her. She finishes with 106 mil. Yeah, this should have been a top 5 score, I feel like. So
Yeah, okay.
we get Jane coming up, and I want to see this ball save on her thing because she makes a big move. So her ball save's active right now. And I think she makes her move. It's coming up maybe here. It wasn't a long ball because she only, yeah, a little bit. So she's got her double danger there, but she gets her couple flips, and then after that, it goes straight down the middle. She ends up with 779K after, and she couldn't make a move there because she had already had her 2 dangers. So you're looking at the scores, just like you said, after ball 2, you're probably not catching Brienne unless you have a god ball where you get everything just going working. I'm assuming you'd have to even get to um, the boss mode, the adversaries, to really start putting on some scores. So Deborah comes up, she hits the skill shot, which I said others weren't able to do. So she's gonna, take her time right here. I want people to watch this on the stream because there is, or on the podcast. So she's looking at her music. I'm gonna give her a couple seconds here and talk over her about it. But it's crazy because the skill shot itself, everybody knows the short plunge. It's kind of like with Labyrinth. You can always get that one constant skill shot. But people, you and the others, so she goes far too, and it gives her the briefcase. So 150K is nothing to sneeze at. So then we get to the end of her ball, and she ends up she gets one lock ball for deconsecrated multi-ball, but she hits the car once and ends up in the right out lane. So right now it's 1.9 million. You are stepping up. You full plunge, get your spins, and you got your lock lit. You're trying to go for that center. What do you remember on ball 3 now?
So, you'll see me shake my head a lot. So, every time I drain and had the ball save, I'm, like, so used to short plunging
Yeah.
that as soon as I did it, I'm like, "I should have full plunged and gotten more spins. What am I doing?" And then I do it again. Like, what am I doing?
Oh no.
But it's one of those things where you're in the moment, but you do get your spins there, and then unfortunately,
Yeah,
you
and then
get the little
just
flipper
nothing.
hop.
I'm like, "I deserved that
But
terrible
it
game."
didn't end up to be the worst result because it's
Yeah.
not that you got saved, but, the scores were so close between 3 and 4. Brienne comes up and it's funny, she starts her, deconsecrated, hits a few jackpots and ends up with, I think she was 110 million. So, she's sitting in the driver's seat. She's looking good. And then Jane steps up. She's at 8. She was at 779. So she's only a million away from you. She gets 2 big moves early and she has to start playing with the lightest flippers ever. And I know that feeling because you're sitting there, you're like trying not to move the flippers too much, afraid that you'll, flip tilt for some reason.
Yeah. Play with your pinkies.
Yeah, exactly. So she's already at 1.5. And were you watching her bonus countdown?
The scores are really small,
Yeah.
so I couldn't really see them. I just kinda assumed that she passed me, but then was told otherwise. So,
Yeah, there's her double danger, and then she can't really do anything here. And she just needed I don't even know what would get you the extra points that she needed because it was so small. She gets a couple slings there. I'm assuming one lit shot would have done it.
Yeah, because she's in a mode. She
Okay.
starts the assassination mode, so it probably would have been like one mode shot.
Yeah, because she's looking here. She's like, you gotta be kidding. And she had the
yeah.
2x. Yeah,
I
70K.
don't deserve it.
70K. Well, hey, it comes out to really help because Deborah then steps up, checks with the TD about the skill shot not registering. You can see her asking there. And I totally get it. But at that point, because it's ball 3, I mean, the ruling has to be play on, right?
I mean, not necessarily.
No, really?
We all could have asked for a ruling. We just didn't. She's the
Gotcha.
one who did. I
Well, I'm
don't
saying,
think it should
but
matter.
I'm saying at this point, when she asked for it, the TD would probably rule play on no matter what, correct? Because it came with her as player 4, ball 3.
I don't know.
What are the other rulings that, because I've never TD'd, so Joe, you've
If it's
TD'd.
just a little skill shot, then yeah, probably just play on. But I don't think like the fact that she's player 4 and it's ball 3 should have really anything to do with it.
Okay.
Right.
We
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
ask
no,
for a
it's-
ruling. She did.
Yeah, that's true.
What is
That's tough.
what is another ruling you could make then? Throw the game out or start check?
No.
All right. So Deborah ends up with 1.9 million. So after game 1, it's Brienne with 4, Deborah with 2, Leslie with 1, Jane with 0. That is John Wick Pro. So the next game that we go to is Abra Ca Dabra. So why don't you tell us, since you have been a previous owner of one, what your strategy is on Abra Ca Dabra?
You want to build that bonus up. So yeah, with the 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll do it, and that's from top lanes or bottom lanes, and then you just are sniping those targets. Clearing the drops will also increase that bonus, and that carries ball to ball.
Okay.
That's it. Really simple.
Were you shooting? Did you have a strategy of trying to shoot the 1 and the 4 from the bottom flippers, or was shatzing an option to try and get them?
I did not try that.
Okay.
No, I was just you can like hit it, yeah, back up top, from the bottom flippers. Like a backhand will do it, but I don't think I was really doing that. I don't remember.
That's
But
okay.
yeah, the the flippers were really funny.
Yeah, you can see it right now. It's drooping as it is. If you're watching the footage, if you're looking at the left flipper, it's basically pointed straight, almost straight down south. It's looking like a 45-degree angle versus the other flipper. So we had to get a tech come and work on it. Eventually, they fix it. We're going through all the footage. Tom,
Oh.
here's Tom.
I was really nervous here because I specifically chose this bank because I like Abra Ca Dabra.
Mhm.
In another bank, there's Wizard, like the bank that was next to this,
Yep.
which is the same play field, completely different rules.
Yeah, this confused me because when I was watching you guys play it, I was like, wait a minute, I played this and that was Wizard. I played Wizard, not this one. And that had the
Right.
wows and the knocker sound. And
So I was really nervous that this was gonna get thrown out and they would have just been like, "Oh, just play Wizard." And it's like, I don't want to play Wizard. I'm gonna play Abra Ca Dabra. It's not the same. Um, but thankfully they fixed it.
yeah, the techs were great at YEGPIN. Did you play that other bank?
With
Uh,
Wizard?
yeah.
Not in this, but I played Wizard in the Open, I think.
Okay, yeah, because I think it was Foo Fighters and another pin with it, because I definitely played that bank. And that was the bank that the main Open had. They had Wizard and ended up on the tiebreaker on Warlock with Belcito and Gregory Kennedy. So we've got you on ball 1. You're starting your Abra Ca Dabra. You cleared the 1, 2, 3, 4. Your drop value ends up at 2K on the lit drop. So you're at 11,710. And this is a ball that is a statement ball, ball 2. You are, again, so clearing the drops, one set of drops or all of them will increase that bonus value in the middle.
Once you reset the drops. So you
Okay.
have to hit that center target as well.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do those reset after you've hit them?
Mhm.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will increase it, and then clearing the drops, and then the center will increase it. And the drops, the lit drop is worth the lit value, correct?
Yes, the
Okay.
bonus value.
Gotcha. So We're here right now. You're at, it looks like 2,000 because it goes up to 5, correct? Is there any other way to earn that lit value other than the lit drops and the center target, right?
The outlane.
Okay.
Nice.
Joe, have you played
That's
Abra
it.
Cadabra?
I can't say that I have. I mean, if I have, it probably would have been just casually. I don't think I played it in competition.
Gotcha.
What's fun?
Yeah. Do you remember a lot about this ball? This was, and the reason I say is a statement ball is because by the time we get to the score, you'll see why.
Yeah. I was just feeling it.
Yeah, you were in the zone.
Yeah. That left flipper is still like it wasn't like drooping anymore, but it did go up really high. So it was just really easy to like catch everything. Also, I think it was like kind of leaning to the left. So it was just like always easy to just like get it on that flipper.
Yeah.
Um,
There were moments where I think the ball was rolling down and it came to a stop for you. But I think other competitors tried the same thing. I don't know if they were watching, and it wasn't stopping. It was just going down, and they had to sort of tip flip it away. And then there were feeds from that 1 and 2 lane. I think it happened to Jane, where it was just like it came down the one nicely for you, but for whatever reason, it just kept finding the center drain for other competitors. But yeah, you're already at 5K here. You maxed out all your lit targets. So once you're at 5, it's carrying over, like you said. So you're on ball 2. Right now, you're at 62,700. Your lit drop is still available on the right. And yeah, boom, picks it off right there for another 5K. What was going through your head? Did you see your score at all during this
I
ball?
think I did.
Okay.
So when I'd played this in the first round, I think I won with 60 something. So I don't know. I was just feeling good. I'm like, well, it's only ball 2 and I'm already here.
Yeah.
So,
You're like this. Okay, this is a good start, basically. Does that change your mindset at all about how you approach, or you just play the ball the same way that you just did?
what's up?
You froze for a sec. Sorry. So does this, after you get it, you're good. After you get a score like that, do you change anything in your approach? I know you're only on ball 2, or do you just play like you were playing previously?
I think I start to relax a little more, which sometimes isn't good. Not like in a give up way, but like, I don't know, you just get a little more loosey goosey. Um, yeah, I don't know. There isn't all I can do is hit drops really.
Yeah,
So
it's not. It'd be easier to ask you this on like a Stern with a more complex rule set, but there's not much else you can do here. But I did notice you had some amazing flipper skills, and I think you were. And what I'm pointing to is like you were bashing the target, the ball away. You weren't sort of trying any fancy moves. You were just like, you know what, get it out of here and send it up because I'm already at 5. Might as well just try to keep it up top all day as I can.
yeah, and just like you kind of always have to keep a mental note of where the like lit target is
Yeah.
because like the slings will change it. I think the pops change it. So just like if it's at the top and you hit a sling, it's going to be the second one down. I don't know. I really look down at the flippers when I'm playing. So if I just know like, oh, it's the second from the top, then I don't know. Just like always knowing where the light is.
Do you, when you're looking at the flippers, do you always memorize the spots where you think kind of that's where the
Mhm.
shot is? Okay. I know some
Yeah, just like
players,
kinda, it's just like in the back of my mind, I guess.
yeah, because I know some players, they'll look down quick, but then they'll look up to kind of see where it is. But I know you really have to figure out, memorize where on the flipper the shot is. But amazing. I mean, everybody's clapping there, and for good reason. You end up with 117,480. You had a kind of had a house ball on that last ball, which is okay. But um yeah, that was an amazing game. So for your lit pops that are 1,000, those are random, right? The switches just
Yeah, like switches, we'll turn them on and off.
okay. I was gonna ask if you ever intentionally went for them when they're on, because they are, I mean, 1,000's 1,000, but at the same time, you're probably not getting a lot of rebounds unless you can get it to like the left or right of it.
Yeah. I don't really aim for the pops.
I mean, the game is the drop, so I figured I'd
Yeah.
ask. So game 1 or game 2, Your round is done, 117, 480. You're probably feeling good because you've seen the scores before, like you said. Did you test the tilt on this?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Or maybe I did when I played it the first round. I don't remember.
Because tilt ends game here, and obviously you got to play gingerly. So Brienne steps up. Her ball won. Not too eventful. I know she was kicking herself a little during this. At least through the first 4 balls. So her first ball just kind of I feel like everybody's owed a house ball or two on these older games. You're gonna get them. And so she goes in, she has her first ball won. It's 44-10. So not the start that she wanted. She picked off some drops in the lanes. On ball 2, she gets a rough little bounce off the left out lane after shooting it up top. I actually kind of want to see that because let me see, it was 10-0-3-0, so it's a little bit before here. So some of the feeds, that's I was kind of noticing it before. So here it is, and then it comes right back out. Are you moving it if you're in that position, or you just kind of let it go?
Uh, I think I would try to move it so it like hits more of the top of the pop.
Okay. Do you nudge up?
Yeah.
What are you more comfortable nudging up or side to side?
For this game, up.
Okay.
Just because like also those slings up top, you I don't know, sometimes it could go like back and forth a lot and you just want to break that rhythm, I guess. Um, yeah, I don't know. Up.
Yeah, it's hard to make this a complex questionnaire, but I try to pick as much as I can. Joe, do you have any? As you're watching this, are you seeing anything uh, intriguing? I should say.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, you know, older EM games, I feel like it's more chaotic with the side to side action. Sometimes it's a good thing, right? Like
Yeah.
but yeah, nudging up is always I feel like pretty comfortable. Especially when it's got those weird kind of in lanes. It's got like the like rubber kind of separating the 2 lanes, and then you know you've got just kind of rails on the out lanes. Um,
And no like
yeah,
real slings down below. It's just
right.
like walls.
The walls of doom. Do you like when they have banks full of old, mid, and modern, or do you like kind of one and one, or what's your preferred, I guess, bank grouping?
I like older games, I
Yeah.
think. Um, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the new Sterns, I just don't have the patience for. I'll wait for someone to tell me what to do clearly. It's like my John Wick game. Um, I don't know.
It is a lot to memorize. I know I talked with Tom, and he was telling me, and there was another dad, I think it was Greg Kennedy's dad, Nick. And he was saying like they have group chats and they're always talking and dissecting the rules. I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. I got a job. Not that they don't have jobs, but kids, when you get older, man, the responsibilities pile up. But kudos to them for finding those exploits, and I'm always super impressed and amazed what they can come up with. So seeing top players like yourself sort of figure out what the script is, like you said with Jurassic Park, it's always interesting to me. It's one of the things I love about competitive pinball. That's why I kind of love doing this with Joe and talking about it, because there's so much to learn in it. And I don't know. I feel like it's a good thing to keep your brain active. Do you like studying the rules of, I don't want to say moderns because I know you just said
Right.
but like of the
I
mid,
mean, for like tournaments, I will like look at the game list and look up any games that I'm not familiar with or try to watch some like footage of other people playing. I think that really helps.
do you have like a notebook that you keep, or is it just all in your head? Like do you, or do you just use
Whenever I
pin
do write it
tips?
down, I never end up looking at it. So maybe the act of typing it out makes it stick. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's a true thing. Like when people study for exams and stuff, writing it out helps them absorb it somehow. I know we all tend to rush to flip pin tips if we haven't seen something, but I feel like there's probably not a lot of pins you haven't seen, right? Is there something you can recognize that you can remember that you haven't played yet?
Yeah, it's getting harder to find something I haven't played. Um, and even I mean, I don't remember everything,
Yeah.
but usually once I flip around, I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, it's coming back to me."
I mean, all of
But
us haven't played Circus in a tournament, so that's like the one I get. The
like
one I
the one
could.
Richie has?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has one?
Mhm.
Oh boy, I haven't played that. Bring it out, Richie. I'm coming to NWPC. I wanna see it.
Well, it might be there.
Uh-oh. So that was, player 2 as we talked, Brienne Hunt on
Oh,
her,
she had a great ball 5.
yeah, she had a great ball 5. She cleared all her so she was at, um, just to show, she was at 32,370 on ball 4 or going into ball 5. So she ended up clearing her right drop. So to go from this to her final score of 74,000 is not easy. So you had a great ball too, where you gained about 60K overall, which is what some people do in a whole game or less. And she ended up getting about 42K on her ball 5. Just some amazing moves. She ended up, like I said, clearing her drops up to about 3K. I don't think she went over that, but she just was picking them off left and right. Nailed the center target to make her furious comeback to get a really good score because she's going to need as many points. Winning game 1 is a great head start, but you also don't want to. I've done this plenty of times. Beef it and get the 0, and then it's kind of like, well, back to square one. So she ends up with this ball 5, helping solidify uh, her standing from the game 1. So like I said, she has a great ball 5. She ends up at 74K. So we get to Jane. And I don't think Jane was having the final she wanted because it was checking the flipper. As you can see there, she's like, hey, can you please check this? Because it looks like it's drooping again. And so the TD came over and I think they said play on. They looked at it and then they made her play on. So her ball 1 quickly cleared her 2 and 4 up there. I believe the 1, 2, and 4. Yeah. So she had some really good clears. I thought this was a great start, but unfortunately it she had this angle that was just nasty and it was right there, straight down, not straight down the middle, but off to the side. So
I
she ends
hate
up,
that.
yeah, that's why
Hard to read.
when,
Yeah.
when I was watching your game versus other players, I was like, the feeds you were getting, not that they were like unearned, but they were definitely a little more side to side action, which kept you out of the middle, which can happen on these older titles. So her ball 2, she ends up with 11,550. Her drop value was at 2K by ball 3, and um, she finishes ball 3 with 20,240. So going into ball 4, she's got to make some room. She unfortunately doesn't get the plunge there. Were you watching, Jane? Or so after you go on first player on an EM, it was nice during qualifying because we could go then play classics entries in the main if you were on an EM. Were you still watching the finals during this, or were you doing something else?
I was in the audience watching.
Okay.
Um, yeah, just like kind of keeping my eye on it, not like stressing over it, just because I felt pretty good about my game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, to get to roll it, first of all, I feel like if you roll an EM, you should feel really good, except for Wizard, because you can you can get the 200K really quick. Once I heard those knocks, I was
Or
like,
not.
God damn. I got, I don't know, 170 something. Then I was like, okay, this guy's on ball 5. He's at like 60. I should be okay. And then I turned around, I heard like a bunch of knocks. I'm like, oh, come on.
That's why I did not want to play it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it could be really good or really bad.
Yeah, especially if you do all the things, but you don't hit the couple targets that you need. It's like, well, I did all that work for nothing. So
Yeah.
unfortunately for Jane, sorry, she had a quick straight down the middle right there, and it was 24,270. So that's a tough score to come back from. She had a 0 in the first game, so she's hoping that she at least grabs the 1. So Deborah will come up. House ball, ball one. She had, is she still practicing here? No. Yeah, she was. So here's ball one. That's how it goes for a lot of people on 2 of the 5 balls. So she's at 500 points. Ball 2, she clears her 1 and 3 lanes, shoots through the 1, up top, gets her 2, shoots the right at the 4 to increase. So by ball 3, she's at 2K. I feel like you should be trying to get at least 1,000 on the bonus value per ball, right? That sound fair?
I mean, yeah, you just wanna build it as fast as you can, really. So, whether that is with drops or I mean, obviously, the numbers is easier.
Yeah. I was gonna say, which one is the more dangerous option? Obviously, shooting 10 drops.
Yeah, the drops is just more work, and then sometimes you can never find that reset in the center, so, yeah.
Were you able to find it, um, easy? I don't wanna say easily, but yeah.
I think I, like, hit it right off the bat as soon as I needed to, but it was from that left flipper, which was like this. So I was just like, "Well, it is straight up." So I don't know.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Onward and upward. So, um, Deborah here is on her ball 4. She had 25,620 going into ball 4. She got a rebound to the center stand, which was great because that was her reset. It's always nice when you get those kind bounces, especially if you can't find the center stand up. Slow roller to straight down the middle, and then she ends up with 44,560 after ball 4. Ball 5, she hit 1 lit drop, and there it is, 53,250. After 2 games, we have Leslie taking first here. So she had 1 point from before. That gives her 5. Brienne had 4 and 2. She was second. Sixth, Deborah had a second and third. 3, and Jane, unfortunately, is out of contention at this point with 0. But you can still play for prize money and standing and whoppers. If you want, I'm sure it's disclosed already. What did you win as far as the prize? It was that awesome trophy, and then there was cash too, correct?
There was.
Okay. A good sum? You don't have to give the amount, but were you happy with the amount?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Everyone's, like, traveling to make a living,
Yeah.
or I'm not. So it's just kinda nice to help pay for travel and whatnot.
That's awesome.
But it is Canadian, so once you get back here and cash it, it's less than you
Yeah.
think.
That was the gift and the curse. When we got there, I was like, we went to eat, me and Tommy, and I was like, "Oh, that's not bad, $20 for a burger." And then I remembered, "Oh, it's Canadian. It's even better." So it's like,
Mhm.
but with prize money, yeah, it definitely hurts. So, through 2, again, Brienne in first, Leslie in second, Deborah in third, Jane in fourth. You have Avatar as your third and final game. What are your thoughts on Avatar, and what is your strategy?
Um, so I think the only time I've really played this was at Whipped
Oh.
last year. But I really like this game. I don't know, it just like the flippers felt nice. A lot of people really struggled with it, I think in like Maine also. Um, I don't know, like the pops never killed me really.
Yeah, that was key because the
Think
feed from the pops is so deadly.
yeah. Yeah, I think they were like drawing on the screen at some point, like all the ways you can drain. I don't know, this game just felt really good for me, and I found the link shot, so just kinda hitting that a lot.
So what's your strategy? So there are 2 multi-balls that you know of, right? The link,
Mhm.
which is on the top left, but it's sort of got that like fork, and you're supposed to
Yeah.
shoot it up there
Mhm,
and lock a ball to make it a captive ball.
mhm.
And then what's the other multi-ball?
The
Amp
amp
suit?
suit.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm less familiar with,
Yeah,
which is
so I
why I
think that
didn't.
one is bash it until like there's an opening and then you can hit it up there. Did you know about anything else going on with the pin as far as like banshees or double scoring?
Um, I know the shot multiplier from completing the top lanes, so I wanted to get that on link, so that my jackpots are worth more. Uh, that's really all I know.
Well, that's a good amount because that was kind of the key to success here. And what's funny is I didn't realize I thought the rollovers up top were just the bonus multiplier. I didn't realize there's a shot multiplier as well. And it reminds me of Batman 66 with the Commissioner Gordon shot, and then you can place it wherever you'd like. And so it's a really smart strategy that you did to lock the ball into Link, but put that shot multiplier there because that's going to be your jackpot shot. And there's nothing
Mhm.
better than a jackpot than a multiplied jackpot. So, Joe, what do you know about Avatar?
Yeah, I think I remember playing it in the same copy from Whipped and Pinburgh last year. It's a tough tournament game. Especially it looks like it's set up pretty difficult. Like the tilt looked relatively tight, and I can't tell if those are. I'm assuming they're smaller lightning flippers installed in the game, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean my go to is usually just hitting that link shot, just because it's relatively quick to get to multi-ball. So
Yeah, it did seem like it wasn't as tough a task as trying to get to amp suit, but we're going to go to your ball one eventually. And what I noticed is, I think Brienne eventually at the end was short plunging because it was just absolute death from the pop. So if you're not watching the video, again, I strongly recommend you do. YouTube.com/FriscoPinball. Look at the video. We'll also have the video format on Spotify. But the feed from the pops, if you'll look during this footage, it'll hit and everybody, it sort of kind of hits does it hit the left? I feel like it hits the left and it goes straight down the middle. Um, or maybe it's the right, but it's so dangerous every time you plunge up there because there's no ball save. You get your skill shot, but there's still no, grace on any ball save. So you can see Leslie making a nice move there on her ball one, half ramped it on the Banshee shot. And I did see, I think it was Jane, somebody was trying to Banshee out because you can get good points from that, especially if the scores are super low. So here
Yeah,
is
I think
your
at Pinburgh last year, some people were, like, just hitting the orbits all day too. Like,
yeah.
that was a strat.
I feel like I saw Zoller do that once.
Mm.
Maybe Jason did that. But here you are, you're going up top, you locked your link ball, and then now all your shots are blinking for your multiplier, and then bang, right there. Beautiful shot. Link multipliers at 2x. And so here you're thinking start multi-ball.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there it is. You start your link multi-ball. You lock your ball during link multi-ball. So this is a two ball?
Yes, and then
Yeah.
you lock a ball.
And then
Does
there's
another one come out? I
yeah, so
forget.
you
Okay,
lock
yes.
okay, so I gotta try to figure out how you get the second ball once you lock it. I feel like that's your add a ball. So
There is, like, another add-a-ball too with the mystery, but I don't know how that works.
gotcha. So
I sh
did you feel comfortable now that you started Link, more here than you did on prior times when you played this in the open or qualifying?
Yeah, I was just mostly really happy that I got my multiplier at the right spot. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this game just, like, felt nice for
Yeah.
me,
Did you
at least
have
for this ball.
was this your best score on Avatar during, the whole time at YEGPIN, or did you do better?
No.
No? Okay,
No, I had a better game. I think in open qualifying.
gotcha. Yeah, so here you are, you're already at 5.5 million, and for people that are watching and listening, you'll see what the scores normally are for, ball 1, but Leslie has started, you were bashing your amp suit, and then you just got your second link lock eventually after getting and your shot is still multiplied on link, and also it looks like the right orbit and the spinner. So it looks like you've got 2 shots that are multiplied, but really good ball 1. What's going through your head after this?
I'm feeling pretty confident with that score, even though it's not that big, just from playing it in the open and seeing the scores there, playing in the earlier round and seeing my opponent's scores. Like, I knew that was, like, okay.
Yeah. Did you
I knew it wasn't gonna be last or anything.
did you talk to
Um,
any of your competitors about this before you stepped up? Like, you talk to Brienne, Jane, or Deborah about Avatar? Or were you all just kind of
No, we were all kind of like sitting separate
yeah, staying in your
in
zone?
the zone.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, so Brienne is up. She survived the pops, but then it goes right down, and that's it. It's 550 for her. Jane will step up, and I want to show Jane's ball because I want to give an example of the feed from the pop. So Jane was also at the same time doing best card qualifying or playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
So kudos to her for like multitasking. So there's her big move, and she had to do it because of that feed from where it came from. And so she is going to try for the link. It looks like everybody was looking at that strategy, but here's her backhand. It's coming up eventually, but she tried to backhand link, so she's flipping it away and traps up here. And again, these are lightning flippers, so it's already hard enough to get control. And I think, oh, she did the post pass, and I feel like we'll see in the footage later on. She was going for that ramp because she thought maybe Banshee would give her a nice score. And she got her ball locked there. Bounces out, and then there's her left out lane. So she did get her ball locked. So is it a virtual lock, or did
I
I miss
locked
that?
one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yours was in there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So, oh, that's a interesting. So if you hit it, it's just going to come right back, and you don't get the plunge.
Mm.
Is that a good? Is that where would you rather be, with the plunge or with the virtual lock?
Well, I wanted the top lane
Yeah.
for the multiplier.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Joe? Would you want the virtual lock or the plunge?
I think that's the right answer. The top
Yeah.
lanes.
Yeah.
I mean, the multiplier, the shot multiplier is nice, right? You can
Yeah.
move it or add another one.
Yeah. So after ball one, you see everybody's score. What are you thinking?
Feeling pretty good, and I knew like I had made progress towards my next link, so that was all that was in my head.
Yeah. Just go
Match the link.
the bash link. All right. You got a smile on your face in the footage. You're telling somebody stop bothering me. No, I'm just kidding. So you
I don't
got
remember who it was.
yeah, you got your ball two. So again, you had 7.5 million going into ball two. So you get control, you get a couple flips here, and then I think that's kind of what I feel like most people would expect after getting a couple shots if you miss it. So you had your right out lane after the flips, but again, 8.4 million. And the next person closest to you is 1 million. So we got Brienne stepping up. She does get a few flips here. She is trying to go for Link, I believe. And there's that feed from the pops. And she has unfortunately a little misread there because she shot the Link and it was like dribbling off her left flipper. And then it just sort of sank. I feel like the worst way to drain for me is your in lane to out lane. Do you have a most hated way to drain?
Definitely fumbling.
Yeah.
'Cause that just shouldn't happen.
Do you make big
But
moves?
the read I hate is like the one Jane got earlier where it's like coming in the middle, like at an angle.
Yeah.
That one gets me.
Do you make big moves with the pins? Like, are you a big nudger?
Yeah. Um, maybe at the wrong times. Like for my other games that were on stream in the semifinals, there was a couple tilts in there that
Uh,
were definitely unnecessary,
was
and it cost me. So
was it on Abra Ca Dabra?
no, it was on Shadow.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I lost my mode bonus.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
And then a really dumb hoops one.
Yeah, hoops is a tough one because there's so much that can, especially on ball 3, like, you could lose your basket bonus as well,
Yeah,
and
thankfully it was ball 1 and
okay,
it was
phew.
like a nothing ball,
Okay.
but I'm just like, "Why did I do that?"
Yeah, yeah. Where did you learn to nudge? Did you just practice, or because that's one thing I'll say I'm struggling with is the right timing of it. you'll watch Abe Flips' trailer for that Kickstarter that he did, and you have Johannes like nudging, and it shows how when he nudges as it hits the sling, it affects where it's going. And most of the time, I'm like, oh, it's on the sling. I'll be okay. So, where did
Yeah,
you
no,
learn to
just
nudge?
lots of practice, and also just watching people
Yeah.
and kind of trying to mimic what they do, I guess. Um, but yeah, when I talked about being on a team when we first got into pinball, I was the worst on the team, and then Ryan and I started practicing a lot,
That,
so he helped me.
that's
Yeah, I don't
awesome.
know, just always having a buddy.
Yeah, and he's a shout out to Ryan because he's a great player too. I was very happy to meet him for the first time, and he was crushing it. I was like watching his qualifying in Maine. I was like, "Where'd he go?" And he was like all the way at the top. I'm like, "Hey, we were next to each other a second ago," and he was doing great. Did he have a good time at YEGPIN?
He did. I'm
Yeah,
really glad he came.
yeah, me too, me
Yeah.
too. What about you, Joe? Where did you learn to nudge? Because I know you're a great player too, and you know more than me how to nudge. So
Oh gosh. I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of like Leslie said, a lot of practice. Just shout out Matthew Richardson. We traveled together to the Beast. I think it was last summer, and he was watching me play. I think he was on Elton John, and he was like, "Hey, you're nudging wrong." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, like you're nudging. Like when the ball would go to the out lanes, like I think I was kind of nudging it so the ball would actually move more out into the out lane." So he kind of had me correct that, and that's been super helpful.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
shout out, Matt.
yeah, MJR Peanut. Shout out.
That's right.
All right. So, thank you for answering those questions. I appreciate that. I figure we give a little interlude on some action here. So, ball two, Brienne had 1.4 million. Ball three, Jane, super quick and unfortunate bounces there. 1.75 million though, and then Deborah started her link multi ball and got her quick multi ball as the ball save lasts 5 seconds in this basically. Ends up with 3.8 million. So after ball two, are you looking at Deborah as your closest competition, obviously, because she's halfway to you?
I don't think I was thinking about that.
Okay.
I just knew I had to, like, win or have at least one placement better than Brienne,
Yeah.
for a tiebreaker. So that's kinda what I was mostly focusing
Yeah.
on.
Luckily, the four in the last game helped the math a lot. And I think at the end, the only person that could have forced a tiebreaker was Deborah, because if she had passed you, she would get the 4 to 7, you would get the 2 to 7, and then you'd play. What was it? Robo War was going to be your tiebreaker.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here you are, ball three. You know, happy thoughts in your head. Get your skill shot here for 300K, which is nice. Your so the multiplied shots don't carry over? Just
No,
okay.
they'll go away.
Oh, that sucks. I thought they carried over. Okay. But great drop catch out of the pops. Um, I kind of want to see that again because it was really good. If you want to see an example of a drop catch, let's watch it here. Whoop, nice. Really good catch. And you're flipping. You made two big, or excuse me, you tried to go for link, I think right here, and then that's where it cost you, but it also cost everybody else. But you say something there, you breathe a sigh of relief. What are you telling yourself there? You're like 9 million. This is all I can ask for.
Yeah, I think at that point, I still thought it'd be enough. So I wasn't too nervous until Deborah stepped up.
Right?
And I'm like, "Wait, there's a three-way tie maybe,
Yeah,
and she can do it."
yeah, that's right. Because if Brienne gets third, it would be 777.
Yeah,
And
and then Brienne starts a multi-ball here too, and
yeah,
then that's when I started questioning, like, "Wait, maybe that's not enough."
yeah, she short plunged here, and then she was going for her link multi-ball, which again, de facto strategy here. But you see her short plunging because she doesn't trust the pops. So she's gonna have to make. Luckily, there was a ball saver there. I thought it was gone because I saw that light go out. And I was like, "Uh oh." But she does eventually make two big moves. but as you pointed out, she does get to start her link multi-ball. So there's one hit, and then she's going to dead bounce. And I believe she gets her second hit here. Yeah, right there. So she starts it, but there's her move. However, luckily, right on right on cue, she starts her link multi-ball. So in link, it looks like it gives you a number of jackpots to hit. So 15? Does that sound right? Or is that the timer? No, that's the time. That's got to be the timer, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. That's right.
I think
I
that's
think
right.
it was like 5 shots.
Yeah, I
per
don't think it's 15. That
individual.
would be wild. But she starts her link, unfortunately ends quickly for her. It sucks because it's a 2-ball multi-ball, and then you're also blessed in quotes with a short ball save on the multi-ball. Like it ended fast. Um,
Yeah.
and we'll watch Jane's ball here because I do want to give an example of the Banshee shots. Did you try any ramps in your other games on this? In other rounds? No.
Oh, no.
It
I was
felt
just
like
going like,
it felt like she didn't have to have it rolling down. Like she could make it from a trap. She tried backhanding Link there. It's a nice little tip over, but well, so here she is from a cradle. And then I think she realized, you know what? I have the shot down maybe. And I don't know. I saw her going for Banshee and then there was. So maybe she only got a couple. Um, but she got a good move, single danger off one good move, but she ended up with 2.9. So not enough to pass Brienne. So the tiebreaker is a real possibility here. Um, were you still watching or did you walk away or were you like,
no, I was watching.
do you I don't want to say nerves, but do you kind of get like, oh, where's this ball going? When's she gonna start?
Uh, I don't know. Nothing like
Yeah,
negative like that, but
not negative, but in your head, like,
just more like,
what does she have left? What's her outs?
yeah, I
Yeah,
guess like looking at like what's available to her, I guess.
yeah,
Or like she could go for this and that could be worth this
yeah,
and
yeah.
um
More of like trying to predict what could be a big score for her.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, oh well, she hasn't played her link yet or
yeah.
things like that.
Well, she got a few flips, and then guess what? It goes out, and your 2025 YEGPIN Women's Champion is none other than Leslie Ruckman. Congratulations,
Right.
El Rucko. And your thoughts overall on this finals and your experience winning it? I know it's got to be a good feeling. Obviously, you're not going to sit here and
Yeah.
say, "Oh, that sucked. There was too many nerves."
Yeah, no, the field was so big with I don't know, there's just so many good players there. So every time you move on, you're just like, "Oh, okay, there's it's not over yet though. Gotta
Yeah,
keep going.
and there's
That's
you.
me.
Whoops, sorry. I got to bring this over here, and then there's you. Congrats, Leslie. As I was trying to snip this, I told Leslie before, and Tom's footage, he even goes, Ryan, get out of the way. Like Ryan was like up front and center blocking the pictures. So I was like, get out of the way. I only have like half a second of footage I could clip. So there you are. The trophy was a giant silver ball. Is that uh displayed prominently somewhere in your household?
It's on a nice shelf.
Nice. That's
But
all.
I was mostly excited, to have my name on the banner next year.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big one. Do you have um whip? Did you say you've won Whip It before? No, sorry, froze for a second.
No,
Okay,
no. This would be my second banner
okay,
because I got it for Northwest.
nice. That's awesome.
Although all I did was print out a piece of paper and tape it on
what?
Oh
next
no,
next year.
oh no. So there, all you ladies, standing triumphantly. It was fun to watch. It was awesome to review the footage. Joe, do you have any questions or comments for our champ before we go to the quick final round?
Yeah, no, it was great. Always like watching you play, Leslie. Nice job. YEGPIN looked like fun. Hopefully, I can make it out there sometime.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, it's a
Not
blast.
so bad.
Yeah. It's tough, but man, it was a good time, and I wish I had done best card, I think, as a, whatchamacallit? We'll go back here to the big screen. As a side thing, but I was like, "Ah, I don't wanna split my time." Do you have trouble if there's multiple, like, side tourneys splitting your managing your time? I think that's one thing I still have to work on.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's harder for women.
Yeah, because you have the extra.
Yeah. Like classics, I made it pretty close,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah, you
like,
did. Yeah, I know I
didn't have
was watch
time. I don't know.
yeah, you and me, I remember was going down to my, like did you finish all your entries?
Mm-mm.
No, yeah, I think I did because I was just, like, going during match play, but again, you also had one more tournament. Did you do
One
best?
more mega match play to
Y
play.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you like hybrid?
Um, I haven't played it enough to know,
Okay,
but the past 2 that I've played, I haven't been able to use all my entries.
okay.
So it really TDs are figuring it out,
Yeah,
just, like, balancing how many games are there versus people versus time. Um, I don't know. I like pump and dumps.
you and
I like
me,
best game.
you
Yeah.
we are on the same vibe there. Like, I like it
Yeah.
because I don't I don't in match play, like recently we had Texas Pinmasters, and I was doing great through 8 rounds, and this was sitting like 6th or 10th. And then the last 2 rounds, last 3 rounds, I think I got 4th place, 5 out of 6 games. And once I get that first fourth, something happens to me where I'm like, I don't know, I just start beating myself up. And with pump and dump, I can have a terrible game on stars. I can get 1,000 points, but I know I can just open my wallet and pay another $3 to try it.
Yeah.
So it allows me a little more breathing room, I feel like. And I know there's detractors of it that say it doesn't really measure skill, but you still have to put up a score. And when you look at the scores that you need to qualify, like at the Beast or at, Papa 21, it's not easy. Joe, what about you? You have a preferred format?
You know, I think I might prefer match play
Yeah.
after playing in a bunch of tournaments.
Really?
I like the pressure.
Yeah.
Well, then
Um,
you gotta come to YEGPIN.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I think I got to do it.
No, I also really like match play just for, like you feel more like you're hanging out, I guess, rather than, like, I'm always obsessing over the queues
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
standings, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Match
No.
play, you get to hang out with different people, different groups.
Yeah, and you're all
right.
talking about strategy, and most people are cool. There's going to be 1 or 2 times where someone's just really focused and intense, and they're like, "Yeah, don't bother me right now," which I get. I totally understand. But yeah, so again, congratulations, Leslie. Super awesome to see you and Ryan there, and super happy for you putting on a great clinic of pinball, getting some amazing whoppers, and can't wait to see obviously what's next. You got some events coming up. What's your next big one that you're going to play in? NWPC?
Yeah, NWPC,
Mhm,
that one's a good time,
mhm.
the end of August, and then going to Papa,
Nice.
but I think that's it, then just, like, local stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you guys in Seattle have a amazing local scene. So, is your Friday league all year round?
Yeah,
Okay,
every week. It's just like the weekly 3 strike,
gotcha.
but there's a lot of people. It's hard.
Yeah, especially 3 strikes.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Yegpin before we move, or just anything before we move to the rapid fire round?
Uh, no, not really.
Okay.
I'll be back next year, and no, I don't know, hopefully I'll do better in the main this time.
Yeah, me and you both. All right, rapid fire round. Flipper skills or nudging skills? Say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Flipper.
Nice. Classic EMs, DMDs, or modern LCDs.
EMs, because 'cause they're
Ooh.
cute.
Put that on a shirt. Favorite non-pinball arcade game?
Um, mm, Tetris.
Cool. Least favorite pinball machine.
Uncanny X-Men.
Ooh. I have to stop. Why?
It's just not fun.
I'm gonna have to
And
agree.
I like gold wings.
Would you rather play
Um,
Gold Wings or X-Men?
Gold
Yeah,
wings.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just like being in the danger room isn't fun. I don't know.
Have you tried the new code?
No.
No.
I
You don't
try
have
not putting money in it. That's how much I don't like playing it.
Favorite city for pinball tournaments?
Gotta be Seattle.
Yeah.
It's fine or bozo.
We'll see ya.
Nice.
Favorite channel to mod for?
Oh,
I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer
oh,
that if you don't want to.
It's gotta be Tom.
Yeah.
yeah. Shout
That's
out to Tom.
yeah, I know, seriously. Thank you again. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we got a chance to talk. We've talked at tournaments before. I'm really happy to meet people like you in the competitive pinball scene and like Joe. I know people ask me, "Oh, why do you play pinball? Why do you fly all over?" Because it's really great hobby, and honestly, the people are 90% of it. It's such a relaxing atmosphere full of diverse individuals. Everybody, for the most part, gets along, and you're all there to do one thing. And the silver ball can screw everybody at any time, and so it's a blast. Joe, did you have any final questions or comments for our esteemed guest?
I think so. Yeah. Excited to. Yeah, I think me and Hadi are both going to Northwest, so
Yep.
we'll see you there.
Awesome.
You want to
Yeah.
plug anything?
Double card.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
ready?
Double card. I can't wait. I was going to ask you. Actually, you know what? I have one question. What is your card strategy? Because we asked this to ZMAC and Ray Day. What do you focus on with cards? Let's say single card, 5 games. Do you go for games that you know well first, or do you start with the hard ones first?
I'm not good at card. Um, and I start with the ones I know well first, just to like not feel like I'm playing $20 for a game of house balls. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just like to like feel good on a game and like get that momentum, and
Yeah.
then from there like calculate backwards like, well, if I get this score on this, that's all I need. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
But card is it's so hard.
it's very hard.
I need to
And
get better at it.
yeah, and double card.
Double card is easier though. I
Why
think.
is that?
Mm,
I don't know. I don't really know what it is. It's like you get one score there, like you finish a card, so you're here, and then you're just kind of like leapfrogging yourself with
Gotcha.
cards. It feels less all or nothing, I guess.
Gotcha. I was gonna say it's not like a Bigfoot mystery. It's just there. Like it just works. Well, I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to visit Seattle and see all the pinball peeps up there. Captain Zanzibar was one of the first guys I met on Twitch, and we've always had
Oh,
a
nice.
fun time ribbing each other. Is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to promote?
Not that I could think
All
of.
right.
Yeah, hope to see people at some events this summer.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. This has been episode 8 of Wizards and Warriors with our guest, Rucko, Leslie Ruckman, your 2025 YEGPIN Women's Champion. And with that, we will say adieu and stay tuned for episode 9. We are hopefully going to get another interview with a new world champion, or should I say back to back world champion. Stay tuned for that. So, bye, everybody.
see ya.
See ya.
Thanks.
The lights are flashing, the bells are ringing. I step up to the table, my heart is singing. The crowd is watching, the tension is high. I'm ready to play, it's time to defy it. Pinball warriors, we're ready to fight. Multi-ball madness, it's target line. Numbers and flippers, we're in control. Pinball wizards, we got the soul. Ball rolling, chasing the light. People fingers dancing, the arcades alive. But flippers respond to my every command. In the pinball kingdom, I make my stand. Pinball warriors, we're ready to fight. Multi-ball madness, it's our delight. Numbers and flippers, we're in control. Pinball wizards, we got the soul.